hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip bars is back, hip hop, Santa
hip
hop, oh God, hop, what's
hip
up with you?
That's by Rudyard Kipling that talks about that. You know, you have to have a balance. A balance. That's important.
Absolutely. You also played Miss Katherine Jackson in Searching for Neverland back in 2017. Can you talk about that experience? And recently, well, a couple years ago now, we've seen Michael Jackson's name unfortunately be smeared once again with new allegations 10 years removed from his death. Can you speak on that as well, if you don't mind?
Well, yes. The young man who played Michael in the movie actually was his photo double. Excuse me, when Michael's on tour.
Oh, wow.
And it was a joy to play Catherine. This mom and her husband had a vision for her children. Motown, to get up out of the projects and have a different kind of life. And Michael, unfortunately, never had a chance to really have a childhood. You on the road 24/7. And I think it's unfortunate because isn't it interesting how everybody wanted to go to Neverland? The parents I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't have any problem being there and in Michael's presence. And now all these years later, you want to besmirch his name and everything else. And it's so amazing. As long as people are paying you and making sure all your stuff is straight, everything is fine. There's no problem. Because see, my issues would have been with the parents.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Would have been with the parents. And Michael is a brilliant artist, but the child in him was ever present. Well, the child in us, the little girl in me is still running around. The little boys in you all are still running around. We don't want to lose that.
Right.
Because that's what keeps us relevant, but that's what keeps us looking at life with wonderment.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's fair. And most of them are just trying to get some money that you cannot spend in the grave. That's the point, you know. And I'll go all the way back to the doctor. First thing, I'm a scientist as well as an artist.
Mm.
Propofol you take as an anesthesia. You get when you get put under in terms of anesthesia. That's what they use because you go under quick and you come up quick. Okay, so you don't leave that with somebody. You don't do that. That Hippocratic oath went out the window with boyfriend because all he could see was money.
Yeah.
And money is wonderful. It will help us do the things that we wish for, but it's not the end all and be all. I'll give you an example. I was on my way back to Broadway with the August Wilson play, Piano Lesson, and my dad had prostate cancer. And his lady asked me to come home to help her care for my father. And we had done the play twice, and we were on our way to Broadway, and I walked away from the show. I would have been nominated. Epatha Murkison took over the role and went on to do Law and Order, and she's on Chicago Med now. I mean, you know, rich and famous as far as that goes. But I did what God would have had me to do, was to honor my parents. And God tells us to do that, not if they treated you well or if they did all the stuff you thought they should have done. there's a period after that your days would be long. I was home for 2 years. Everybody said I threw my career away. And all the people that you would name that are household names, sure, had I been disobedient and went on and just it be about me, I would be where all of those, but I wouldn't have adopted my son, for one, because a lot of things wouldn't have happened that should have happened. And there's no regrets. My father died the weekend of the Tony Awards in my arms. Nobody had to find me. And then I was able to show my father what unconditional love looked like in the flesh. So same thing for my mom. And while my mom was in her last months, I didn't stop the process of adopting, my son. And I adopted in my 50s. I hadn't planned on being a single parent, but that's how it ended up going down. I have to smile again, because some situations may not work out. And I just, went on anyway, because I felt that if I weren't, I could adopt as a single parent, I wouldn't have had a child out of wedlock, let's just say. Because some of the stuff we were talking about earlier, if the father's not present, that really is, and anybody that's been abandoned, I found out have post-traumatic stress syndrome.
I bet.
Yeah.
So we as a people have it, and we have to find a way to heal ourselves. And that's just through forgiving. You forgive everybody for whatever it is, more for yourself than for them. Because usually if you're still angry with someone, they've gone on about their business. They're not even thinking about you, and you're the one holding on to it. And see, that could impact your health. You know what I mean? Heart attack or stroke or crazy other things undermining your body. And nothing and no one is worth it. So you let it go, because, what goes around comes around. Nobody gets away. And we know in our lives, if we've done anything, I can tell you, if I've done stuff, not if, whatever stuff I've done, I've been spanked for it some kind of way. Life has said, no, I don't think so. And I'm sure that has happened with you. So you find out, wait, I need to represent character and integrity and just do the right thing. And the right things will come back to me.
Yes, man.
Definitely. My final question would be for you, Tupac Shakur. Did you know Tupac? And if you did, can you talk about your experiences with him?
Wait a minute. This is interesting, because I did Ruth in Raisin in the Sun in New York with Glenn Turman, and Tupac was Travis, but his name wasn't Tupac. Wait a minute. I'm just trying to, you got something teased from somewhere. Well, but yeah, I met him as a 13-year-old. And, after we did the play, usually they have two kids, alternating performances. And then years later, I wondered why I loved his poetry. And it was just something about him. In fact, I have to smile because I have a picture in my son's old room of a poster of his that says, "Only God can judge me." Oh man, another brilliant poet, unbelievable. I'm pissed off because this whole East Coast, West Coast foolishness is one thing, and him and Biggie should still be here. So I'm gonna just say that.
Agree.
And y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the impact of as a man that they would have had just going through that journey as 40-something-year-old men right now would need it right now.
And giving back. Because see, when you have money, any kind of money, and you can be a blessing to someone else, It's amazing. You throw it's like you're planting seeds into the universe. It will bloom and blossom. And you don't give because you're looking for something back, but that's just the way of the world. Your hand is open. A pastor of mine, E.V. Hill, back in the day said, if God can get it through you, he'll get it to you. A closed fist, nothing can get it in and out. So why not share? You see somebody hungry, it's a little something to do to say, let me get you something to eat, baby. And I don't tell somebody, well, look, I'm gonna get you this. Let me come in here with me and let me, you know what I mean? You tell me what you want for today. That's how I can bless you.